My God.
And now he's going to go into Amanda style. So at least he's got dodge effect and push effect. This Observer and Sentry, Miller's been playing around on top of her for the last like 2-3 minutes, which means they know exactly what they're getting into here. BlinkPool. Bad Rider began his TP. You actually want to finish the job here? Okay, you want to go instantly for the second kill. They won't find it. Wind Ranger TP's out in the tree line. That line's being drawn in from Clockwork. It's like push mid or something around mid.
Yes, they know what's at stake here. It's looking scary with the PL this far ahead in terms of survivability and damage. He's essentially very close to impossible to gank right now for Wind and Rain. They would have to commit a lot of heroes to be able to pick him off, like at least 3 with perfect chain stuns if they can land it. And there's a lot of other BlinkPool heroes to worry about, especially because Razor's finishing his BKB. So they're going to move into Roche. I think this is a great move here. They're super far ahead. This is the best way for them to force their opponents to try to engage them, something they want to happen. And if they don't, then they're going to get a free Aegis, and then they can start forcing down towers even easier. BlinkPool's
Looks like War's grouping up. Roshan's taking a very long time for BlinkPool to kill off, so they got time to react. Clockwork Rocket flies in. The Naga Illusion's already trying to create that buffer to stop him hookshotting. But that's why you're seeing War wrapping around through the northern side. The Song of the Siren is out. But who is this really for? Who are they trying to kill off? So far, everyone just goes to sleep. Batrider finds his target. It's going to be the Lina up on the hillside. They want to kill off quickly. Pull out the Mystic Flare, and they get it. The Clockwork hookshots himself in forward. Now the Scar is meant to be picked up by Ritsu, and he stands his ground up against the Phantom Lance, but losing that life. At least they're able to avoid the Meteor Hammer, but they're going through more, and Ferev says none of this. I want out. He's in range of all 4 heroes. The question is how many can survive? Millen will not. The rest will, and BlinkPool go back into Roshan to finish what they started.
Just a super great fight from BlinkPool there. The Morphling jumps in to try to be annoying to slow things down. Razor instantly breaks the Linkens with Force Staff, or somebody did, and he swaps Static Link. So Morphling caused some time to be spent at least, but by separating the Lina to the right side on the high ground, and then the Morphling to the bottom right, and the other heroes across the river, that gave Batrider finally an opening to snag a hero. And as soon as they killed the Lina, that fight was pretty much over. Clock tried to save her, but he was a bit too late. She died very rapidly, and then it was just the easiest teamfight win for BlinkPool. So really well played there by them, and lots of wards in the area to spot out their opponent.
When that fight happens and the Razor wasn't even carrying his BKB, that's going to be real scary for War going in further. The fact that BKB Razor is going to be walking quite freely around.
Yeah, and almost all of this, looking back at what we said in the draft, or what Sin said, the laning stage was not supposed to go this bad. Morphling got killed a lot of times against the Batrider. It's like one of the rare times where like Batrider has been played for years in the pro scene. A lot of people know what the weaknesses are, but they found this small little opportunity and they pushed it, which pushed them to a follow-up kill and a follow-up kill, and now Morphling's just playing from behind all game, and that's really hard when the rest of the BlinkPool team are on a good place.
And BlinkPool, I think, understands like how they win these fights now. Like, it wasn't just the heart. He also got the Hood of Defiance. He went back into it. So Madara is insanely tanky. They've got that front line to go high ground. PL TPing down to the bottom tier 1 tower, looking for a target. They don't really have one. The rest of War is already bailed out.
He's pretty much unkillable right now, is what it feels like. It would take so much from the enemy team to pick him off. The Hood, if anything, the one thing that actually does do a lot of damage previous to the Hood was the Firestorm, because it does percentage-based damage, and he just got himself a heart, so he's got a lot of health. I think the Hood is more than reasonable for how safe it is. It's a 1700 gold item. It's not super expensive. It's slot expensive, but on top of the heart, his hero does not go down. He's going to stay alive through burst, and it just allows BlinkPool all these opportunities to find the right fights and the right kills. And when you've got a Batrider or Naga, that is just a huge advantage.
BlinkPool are hungry for the fight. Thanks to Lina's Shadowblade, she was just able to escape.
But this is all she can do.
Like, she's even bought the recipe. She just wants to finish up the Lincoln Spear, and the only way to do that is just let her farm up on top lane.
That's what's so hard about it.
Like, how are you meant to do this when Ritsu is now babysitting Alina?
Yeah, like that's the Lina needs a Lincoln just to stay alive in these fights. Her Shadowblade is supposed to be a hybrid offensive, mostly an offensive item more than a defensive one, but she has to use it defensive because they're losing and there's a Batrider. It forces her gameplay to change. It's kind of like if you're playing against a Spirit Breaker. But BlinkPool doesn't really care. Their opponents are going to have to play more inefficiently, and now they just get to go high ground.
Yep, and they're not there to really defend it. Lina can TP back, so can Millen, but it's taking some time.
Yep, they use a Crimson Guard that will slow down a pretty solid amount at least. But now as they back can and Rain get a backline. The sentry dips Alina where she is. See if they try to fight her.
That's why Misery setting the illusions up. Scout around, first TP's beginning. Millen only begins his TP now. They're going to see him. Blink Lasso's going to cancel it. That's 30 seconds without a clockwork.
Not a huge loss there for Win and Rain. It does force BlinkPool to back off briefly. In some ways, their high ground push mid was not super effective, but they should be going back mid now as a result of that kill.
Exactly where they are.
They want to force the fight. They've got Aegis. It's time.
The only thing that can delay them really is actually fortification.
Crimson.
Madara can tank through everything else. The Shackle won't latch. Media Hammer just allowed Madara to stand continuously, but we're still
stopping. It's between the passive from Underlord and the guard. PL, his hero is hitting for like less than 20 damage before the fortification armor, so that does actually stop it. They don't even have to use a glyph just yet. Crimson Rush here was so valuable.
Doesn't even seem right that something like that should do that.
Well, it's just because the nature of PL, you know, like PL, all of his illusions deal reduced damage, so a raw damage reduction from a damage block is going to counter it. And the way Underlord works with this passive reduces damage based on stats by 40%. So it's just like a perfect item for how the hero works. And the fact that it also affects buildings means that they can evade sieging a lot better. And that's really the one big weakness that BlinkPool has. They don't have very good tower hitters. If they had better tower hitters, they probably would have been able to take that tower by now, perhaps. Or at least dealt more damage. But that's also the offside. If they have a better tower hitter hero, they maybe wouldn't have had a PL, and they wouldn't even been in this position. So,
the Hunt is coming on bottom lane now for BlinkPool. Clockwork moved over already, but Selena trying to push into the tier 1 tower that they want to try and catch out. Millen will be the buffer, however. He is standing between the rest of BlinkPool and the Lina. I say that when she's in the tree lines, and then Sticky Napalm, Kezu.
He does, sir.
He does up, and he actually did connect over on the Lina with a quick flame break that triggered the Lincoln Sphere. That means Lasso can now be used. That was his 4-star from the Bat Ride to do it. A quick Eul Scepter up and towards the air. She'll come back down again, but only into her own death. 70 seconds without the Lina. She has no back available. Fence. Now time to kick in.
Great connect there. Kezu fine. And forced to carry the great grab. Again, that's up the game. She had an okay laning stage, and she did a great job pressuring the top lane, but that was really all she did. She wasn't able to get super far ahead, and there's just too many heroes that are difficult for her to kill.
Looking for the Morphling on top. He's got Lincoln Sphere. Wind Ranger scouts out the attack coming in. Ritsu going to waveform and begin his TP. They have no stuns between the two of them, however.
Use the last
Flame Break was modified a long time ago.
Yep. Can break the Lincolns with the Force, but can't lasso afterwards, so... No snag there, but still, they killed the Lina. Currently, Clock is, I'm not sure, looking for couriers or something? Trying to find enemy heroes. I guess it's safer for him to jungle on that side of the map, but...
Well, he ran through his own jungle before. Nice Shackle in towards the mid. It's Underlord in trouble. They're going to drop the Mystic Flare. He already begins the TP, but they cancel at the ensnare. Able to do so, and Ritsu actually coming in, trying to steal the damage as that Morphling needs to wait from away. He's running out of mana, and the last zone controls him. Down for a full minute. You can buy back on the Underlord. At least the Shackle could bring down Misery, but Madara has just been given a ticket to Hunt. But they're not going to go in any further without the Skywrath Mage with the Naga save. They're deciding against it.
That's a good escape. I mean, they do get 2 heroes, not all bad there, but I think grabbing the Morphling and the Underlord and an Underlord buyback is by far going to be more worth it. 2 supports for 2 cores, and they retain their gem. BlinkPool is going to be happy and content with that one. It's going to, you know, waste some time. The Aegis is gone now, but the way that this game is going trajectory-wise is just getting super, super out of control. Manta now in PL, among other things. They've got E-Blade on Morphling at least, so he can get these one-shots, so heroes like Naga are going to need Euls or Glimmer. Same for Skywrath Mage, but that's
they're all building
what they can do.
Like Naga's almost finished up her Eul Scepter. In fact, I take it back, she has finished her Eul Scepter. Bat Rider's building the same, and he's not too far off too.
That'll
a couple of 100 gold and is completed.
Another Lincoln's Breaker and deals with the E-Blade. It's just they're going to be able to cover all their bases so easily right now. And eventually, Barrett is, I'm confident to say he's going to get a BKB at some stage. It feels like bats these days don't get that, but...
Able to jump over, went up for Skywrath Mage. Forever wants to pull him back out again with a quick 4-star. Millen's got the distance to stay out of the Mystic Flare as well as Meteor Hammer.
I just want to give a shout out to Misery,
looking around Roshan, he might spawn in 10 seconds time.
The Force happened. There was no way his Meteor Hammer was going to land. He held the channel.
Oh wow, they actually caught up to Morphling, break the Lincolns, and then to ensnare. The combinations from BlinkPool, they're working so well. They know he's got waveform, and what's he going to jump into? Ritsu, he tries to jump down, able to do so, stolen the doppelganger, and gets back away to safety. Song of the Siren is out from Misery into the Meteor Hammer. Will catch both Forev as well as Bryle, and they go back in again, charging forward. You've got some protection with both Hype as well as Crimson Guard and defensive Fuel Scepters.
Okay.
So BlinkPool seem to be happy just to back off once more.
I was really worried for the Lina there, not using the Yules to dodge it, but kind of smarter the way she did it. She waited until she went high ground, then used it to debuff. So she still gets hit by the stun. The song is used, but nothing to follow up on. And they do have some burst bombs on BlinkPool. It's pretty much just like Skywrath Mage. Morphling got away relatively easy in the last fight.
Well, they're looking for the engagement again. Ritsu is the most obvious bait of all fishes in the mid lane. Wants to steal the PL.
Freshmore. He did get the morph duration perk, heal someone waveform range, so he's not as good at right-clicking this game, but definitely has a lot more utility. Necessarily a bad thing to have. But, oh, hookshot.
Hookshot forward. They had the sentry ward down. That's why they saw Misery. A quick force off away. It was Kenzu that saved him, while Madara just goes in deep. Shackled up for the moment with this fight. Spin the model past Madara. It's going to be the big one. He wants to try and jump away. Doppelganger up. He has the distance. Morphling as well. They're just focusing on the one positions, both of which it looks like they can escape. Morphling able to waveform out and then get the one charges off. Everyone's beginning their TPs apart from Forev. Lassoed up. Millen actually having his cancelled, and he can't run away. The orb attack from the Skywrath should be enough to find that kill with one more attack with the 4-starping forward Razor. And Forev is taking a while, but eventually he's brought down by the most entertaining laner in the game,
That's
Misery.
true. Misery's actually been owning. He Yule Scepter, the Clockwork as well. He's just causing so much teamfight disruption. And I was definitely worried for Madara there, but he was able to escape the enemy heroes just long enough, get the Manta off, run away from his opponents. And by that point, BlinkPool had cleaned up everybody else and was able to catch them all independently. So it just seems like no matter what happens in these fights, BlinkPool is just so much advantage that they just can't kill core PL. This super fast part that he got into the hood has just made him invulnerable. And he's almost got a butterfly now. Like,
I just love the way that War believe they have to deal with it. And BlinkPool did the same type of thing when they focused on the Morphling. It was a 4-1 fight. 4v1 fight going on from both sides. And they were within like 1,000 range of each other.
Tower is under attack.
It was very much like that. I really felt like PL looked ditched to me. But luckily his gold advantage was such that it did not matter. Razor's got
It's on purpose, right? Like you battle the Morphling, you focus him down, because once the Morphling's dead, what has War really got? Like the Lina doesn't seem to be that impressive in the fight. Yeah,
it's the biggest negative of a late game Lina. She does attack very fast. She has some pretty good bursts. She has chain stuns, and she's good at ganking and pressuring the map. But individually, her hero's not very survivable. She doesn't have a lot of armor. She can't do that much AoE, and even having like a Mjolnir or something is not always the best solution against a P. So it's going to be hard for Lina going forward. There's a ton of armor on Razor now. He gets Ashivas and the armor perk. The only thing BlinkPool is lacking is easy and convincing high ground. But they're winning every fight. They're transitioning. They have good team fight scouting. They're hitting so many checkboxes. And they can just high ground with gold advantage. And that's what they're aiming to do in the late game here.
TP back wall. They're coming from behind. Dia have already used their scan. Into the pit they go as Ritsu inside of Roshan. But that's why the Naga illusion was there. Bad Rider takes to the skies with a Firefly, the Song of the Siren. That's a huge one. It actually caught out 3. They don't realize they've got the Lina. He's inside the Shadow Blade. They're making more PLs, and then the Hammer connects. Shackles will buy a little bit more time, but not enough. The Lina dies so quickly. Maybe the Underlord. He can take them away to safety if this can complete. Ritsu's low, but away. Unfortunately for his teammate, it won't be so lucky. The Clockwork Millen dying in the trees, and now this means an easy Roshan for BlinkPool.
That was the best time for Clockwork to have the voice line. How's it going? He's very, very screwed up in the face of his friend. At least Rev is able to save him at 4s. If not for Underlord, that would have been 4 or 5 heroes dying, and very likely the end of the game. But either way, Misery's position there was fantastic. He was very separated from his team. He was in a position that could potentially cut off his opponents, and he caught 3 of them. So as a result, perfect team fight, perfect Meteor Hammer, and it was just a snowball's win there. So Aegis and Cheese going to be going to BlinkPool, which will again make their high grounding even easier.
Yep, Madara has the Aegis, the Immortal Cheese is in the Razor, and they just also picked up the Arcane Rune over on Kezu. And there's an extra double damage rune just to, well, don't know who are they going to send for that one. Espadara.
Do you see how pathetic Razor's damage looks this game? It actually looks so atrocious. They're like winning by this much. He's level 22. It's like 98 plus 24. Watch out, guys. Watch out for the Razor. But obviously he gets most of his damage from his abilities, static link, stuff like that. He's picking up a heart next because they're just so far ahead.
One's going to come out, chasing after Misery. That's 1 minute cooldown for him. Meanwhile on bottom lane, Lasso finds the bigger target. It's the Morphling. Can they control him enough to get the kill, however? E-Blade is still available, but no! Ritsu locked down and killed off.
He was playing that one safe too. He was like fully strength morphed, so he either saw it coming or was strength morphed. It took forever to kill him, but it works out. Two heroes, just the Batrider and the Skywrath Mage. It was effective.
They're going to force him buyback. The buyback has to come. That's a double damage Phantom Lancer. Yeah, it's going to wear off in a bit, but you see how quickly he gets into the tier 3 tower with no fortification for the Radiant side. They have to rely on the Crimson Guard to do the work.
The illusions won't work. They gotta wait till the Crimson's gone. He's getting hit.
Madara's still trying it.
He's scared, man. Okay, they do pick it off.
Madara, where are you going? Oh, he's running out through the bottom.
Yeah, he's gotta wait for his heart to kick in. He's missing 2,000 HP. You just sit back for like 8 seconds or something, and then you're high guard again. Essentially gets another Aegis out of it.
I like the quick sentry down. They're looking for the Lina. If she wants to move forward, she can't hide inside that Shadow Blade.
They see the ward too, so they'll probably deal with this Observer Ward in a second. That's so important. Don't let them know where Batrider's coming from.
Madara going up the range tracks. They need a little bit of help. The seal and the Lasso. They caught Karev. They want to bring him down. He has no Crimson Guard. Force charges are available. He'll burn him, but not enough regeneration. So the buyback, that'll give him the regeneration, but aboard the time, Morphling did not have to commit his buyback. But they've still got more Morphlings available. So this is what now, the second time Pitlaw's been forced to buy back in this game after the 20-minute mark?
Yes, and you could really see it in that last engagement there. They were able to catch him even with the Obs Ward, and just to pipe in a Crimson Guard alone are not going to keep him alive. He needs, I don't know, something else, just more raw HP.